Hey guys, what's going on? Andrew coming at you. It's your favorite American guy living in Sweden talking about things. I'm at home in the States right now, and I wanted to talk about this one, grocery stores in Sweden versus the United States. I kind of feel like there's a lot of interest for this. If you like this kind of quality and content, just go ahead and hit that like button, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you like this video. But with that being said, we're going to go into it and we're going to talk about the differences in stores. So in the United States, the big kahuna obviously has to be Walmart, which is a major store that we have in the United States. And then depending on where you live in the United States, we have other local stores that are like regional. So like where I live in the Pittsburgh area, we have Giant Eagle. And of course now you got like Whole Foods, which is, I don't know if that's national now or not, but and then in the South, you'll have places like Piggly Wiggly's and certain places where they compete with Walmart in a sense, but people either go there because it's not Walmart or maybe they think that there's better quality food. If you're in Sweden, I'm sure there's more than 3 options, but I'm going to just name the 3 off the top of my head, which is going to be ICA, Hemshop, and then we have, I've seen like Willys, and I would probably put ICA or Hemshop kind of at the topper level of quality, and Willys is like a little bit more of a budget kind of place. But the sizes of the store kind of matter where you are. So if you're in the city, whether you're in Stockholm, Linköping, the stores are usually smaller and don't have as much selection, but they're not bad. It's just, I noticed that, and sometimes it's a little bit pricier. So if you have a car or you can take a bus to a bigger store, then I would recommend going to an ICA Maxi. And I actually think that an ICA Maxi is very close to a Walmart as far as the sheer size and the amount of stuff that you can buy. Also, you can buy things besides groceries, maybe some clothes is there, maybe some utilities and things like that. You know, I almost think if you would combine Walmart with like an IKEA, I kind of feel like IKEA has a lot of stuff that Walmart has, maybe not near the same quality. IKEA is much better quality, I would say, than some of the things you can buy in Walmart that you could sit in furniture-wise. But if you combine both of those, I would say that would be similar to a Walmart. That being said, I want to talk about the next thing here. We'll call this one number 2, is the size. First of all, meat is very expensive in Sweden compared to the United States. It's much more expensive. But one thing I noticed when I was here, when I first came, is that like I love chicken wings, hot wings. I know it's like the terrible thing for you, like fried chicken, but I also bake the chicken as well. I just love chicken and making hot, spicy food. And it wasn't until I came to Sweden that I realized what chickens are supposed to look like, because I've had some chickens in the States where, I mean, they look like they were, related to Mark McGuire, buff, huge, just massive chicken wings, and you realize later, I think they're feeding those chickens some things they shouldn't be feeding them, maybe hormones and other things. So although the meat is more expensive in Sweden, I also think it's probably healthier, because some of these meats I've seen in the States, there's something about it that just doesn't seem right. I also think that although you can choose to get more humanely killed stuff in the States, I think that probably overall, if you're buying stuff more locally in Sweden or Germany, they have a little bit better regulations as far as taking care of that animal. And if you think about it, the animal should be somewhat happy before it's killed, because I think if an animal's stressed or something or not happy, I just don't think that meat is going to be healthy. And there, we have options in the States for that. You just kind of have to shop around and find it. I mean, you could still find that in a Walmart or something else, like a more humanely killed animal, if that's something you're interested in. Something else I noticed, it has to do with bags, and Swedes will talk about this a lot, but we'll talk about the differences. So if you go to a Walmart, for example, or any grocery store, you're going to get your bags free. That's first of all. You're going to get free bags, and somebody packs your bags for you. This is like kind of an interesting thing now for me when I come home and I see that. So you would buy your groceries and someone packs your bags for you. Now the grocery bags are free, but I will say if you really pull on them hard enough, they can break. It's not that uncommon for a grocery bag to break if it's a little bit too heavy or things like that as well. But when I first came to Sweden, it was just interesting because you have to pay for your bag, but I will say the bags are much more like high quality. Like there's times where like I didn't want to put the bag, or I thought it was too much to put in a bag. And my girlfriend's like, it's going to be fine, use this bag. Just because I was used to bags breaking. But for the most part, I think in 6 years, I've only had one bag break on me, knock on wood. And, it's been great. What's another interesting thing, though, is in Sweden, they don't, like, you have to bag your own bags. And I remember first coming, like, I know it's silly. Maybe if you're Swedish, you might think it's funny, but like feeling like you have to race against the clock because you buy a lot of stuff and then there's a huge line of people behind you. And I remember like putting it all in like the first time. Another interesting thing is the people that like actually work. I guess the clerk or the person you're buying from at the register. In Sweden, I've always found this to be interesting. They sit in chairs. They have these like special design chairs so that the people working there can sit in them all day and move the groceries fine and be able to interact fine. And it's just interesting to me because I think in American culture we would see that as like being lazy. I'm not calling Swedish people lazy, so don't smash that dislike button. It's just a difference. I mean, in the States, I just see a lot of people standing that work in grocery stores, and I really think that Americans might look down on that at first. I don't think it's such a big deal. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you're working all day. If you want to sit, that's fine. As long as it's healthy for your back, though. I mean, maybe sitting can also be a little bit bad for your back over time. I don't know, but it's just something that I've always found to be interesting. Another interesting thing kind of in the United States is that in the U.S., you can buy guns at Walmart. And there's totally nothing weird about buying firearms in a grocery store. That's totally normal. Every country in the world does it. Yes, and it's amazing and awesome and wonderful. I think that in Sweden it's great, but maybe the lines take a little bit longer than you would in the States, but it's the same. But I notice in the States more and more when I come home, a lot more automatic checkout, a lot more self-checkout. In Sweden, it's growing by a lot, but it's still not always quick. Depending on when you go. If you go to a grocery store on Friday or sometimes, you're going to be in a line. I mean, especially if you're going in the city. I mean, I guess you could say they're roughly the same as far as lines and things go, but I still kind of think that the U.S. system is a little bit faster. Amazon just had a grocery store that there's like line free. I heard that they're talking about the same thing in Sweden. I can't wait for that because I just love to get in and out as quick as I can when it comes to like grocery stores and shopping and things like that. Another very interesting thing that you are going to notice about the U.S. system is that they're open 24 hours. And with that being said, I have to say that, you know, if I bring my girlfriend to Walmart, I always feel bad because there's a lot of crazy people at Walmart. I mean, I hate to say that. I'm not trying to put people down, but you're going to meet some interesting people. Maybe some people that aren't so cultured. Maybe some people that wear some interesting types of clothing, that are arguing with their kids. I mean, it's a little bit sometimes. So, especially for me being in Western Pennsylvania, we get all kinds of interesting people that go to Walmart. So if you're visiting the United States and you want to go to Walmart and see some interesting people, maybe go there at 4 a.m. because it is open 24 hours. Have yourself a nice time. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. I would love it if you subscribe to the channel if you want to. And I will see you guys in the next video. Hey, do.